Hey guys, welcome back. This is our van tour video. In this video, we're going to be discussing reasons why we bought our van, why we did our van build, how we did our van build, and the different things we put into our van, and all of the reasoning behind it. But it's currently raining right now, which is not ideal. So let's quickly jump inside and we can carry on from there. This is the cab area of our van, and this area is obviously where we drive, and it's an area we wanted to screen off from the main part of our van, but we also wanted it to be accessible straight through. So on days like this, when it's raining, we can run from the back of the van straight into the driving seat, and if we need to move anywhere, we can just drive off. Plus, it's quite nice to be able to have a more spacious area, including the cab, rather than having a blank wall just cutting off the back and the front of the van. So we built the swivel seat here to help engage the driving area with the living area, and it works really well. I mean, we don't use it too much, but when it is spun round, it is comfy to sit on, and it gives you a wider perspective of your van behind. We chose a medium wheelbase van because we wanted a van that was smaller in length, so when we drive it isn't so difficult to park and it's not so difficult to maneuver around corners in small cities and things like that. There's been multiple times on our trip currently that we've been looking for parking in cities, and we can just squeeze into some places that a longer van would struggle. So the reason we got a Peugeot Boxer van is because we love the look of the van. We wanted a Mercedes Sprinter. They're really expensive for what they are, and also they taper up at the top. So a Peugeot Boxer is much square of a van. So we knew at the start we wanted to convert it into a camper van, and we wanted a bed lift because I work, so I needed to be able to get tools in here and different things for my job. So the bed lift was our best option. Up here in the front, let's quickly show you what type of Peugeot Boxer we got and the different specs it has. So in this van, we went for the, I think it's called the professional model. So in that, you have cruise control, which is a lifesaver for these long journeys. That's a little stick down here. And we have aircon, which again, you would think a new van these days, they would put aircon in every single van. They actually don't. It's got the electric windows and electric mirrors, the heated mirrors. It's got sat nav as well. Self-explanatory, sat nav. I think that's about it up here.
We have actually been living in this van for a month now around Europe, so this is a real life kind of setup of how it is when we are living in it. So to start with, just above we have an overhead locker, and in here it goes all the way back, so there's room for so much storage, which is really super handy. We also have here our curtain, which I will show you. It gets hooked up and it just splits off the cab and the living area for night time, so it kind of acts as a replacement of a bulkhead, but it's great because we can just take it down whenever we want the access to get through. So that's the curtain. We also have a projector screen, and this just clips on and you just pull it down. We have a Nebula 3 projector which we connect up to our phones to watch Netflix onto the screen at night time, which is really nice when you've had a long day and you just want to chill out and watch a movie. It's very cozy and homely. Okay, and then that just clips in like that to secure it in place. Behind the curtain here, we do have a space between the driver's seat and the start of the kitchen, and it's really great storage space. We've got two camping chairs, our bin, we have Mars's electric skateboard, and currently just our picnic blanket, but it's a really great space to just store anything away. We also have our umbrella for the beach when it's sunny behind there somewhere. Under the seat here we have our first aid kit and a cool box, kind of everything you need for travelling around Europe, kind of the legal things that you require. Luckily for this van, it's a H2, which isn't the highest that it can be, but we got away with the height really well because we are both quite tall people.
I'm 6'2" and Lucy's
I'm
5'10".
5'10", 5'11". But we're both tall people, so we were a bit worried because that was one thing we really wanted, was to be able to stand up in the van when we're cooking and washing up. It just makes it life a lot easier rather than having to walk around like this. While we're talking about the ceiling, we will just show you here. We have a max air fan, which really helps when we're cooking and just in general to cool down the van.
So being a max air fan, it will blow in air and it will also suck air out. So when you are cooking, heat obviously rises, so the top of the van gets hot. So this just helps disperse that heat completely straight out the van and any smoke or anything like that. So we don't actually get very smoky in here when we're frying or cooking. It's literally all just taken straight out through the van. We've also added on some tiny thin wooden strips along the ceiling to make it look a little bit more fancy, not just a white ceiling.
Onto the kitchen. For our kitchen, we decided to go for a farmhouse shaker style kitchen. Starting at the top of the kitchen, we have 2 overhead units with under LED lighting. And if I just open one, it pops open. We got so much storage in here for food. We have soft close hinges on these with also a door latch that clicks into place when you shut it, which just means that when we're driving, there's not gonna swing open and everything's gonna fall out. So they're really great, handy for a camper van. But this is our gas oven on the left of the kitchen. We didn't want to have to rely on our batteries, which is why we chose a gas oven rather than an electric oven. Open it up, and at the top we have the grill, and at the back we have the oven with the fan. It is a luxury for the van, and we are really glad that we put one in because it just helps us when we've gone on a big trip to be able to vary up our food choices. So down here we have our solid oak worktop, which is 22mm thick. We didn't want to add too much weight onto the van, which is why we went for this worktop. We cut out 2 holes for our undermounted stainless steel sink with our fancy tap here and our twin gas hob. We also have some fancy tiles, but they aren't real tiles. They are just stick-on tiles, again, because we didn't want to add too much weight into the van. But they make the kitchen really fancy and they keep it nice and clean because they're just easy to wipe.
Okay, so down below we've got drawers that run all the way through. Here we actually have 2 fake drawer fronts because the sink is behind. This is a large drawer, mainly for larger objects like our kettle and things like that. Above here we have knives and forks and utensils, and then down below we have plates. Down here we've got a large unit. We actually hold our gas bottle, and behind the gas bottle, that is where all of our water system is. Now, a lot of people may say, and including myself, it's not very good access to get there. No, it's not. We've struggled for space to put our water system, and it is all hidden kind of behind a built gas unit. So if I wanted to take anything out and replace it, or if anything was broken, then I'd have to take out my gas unit, which is a bit of a faff. But touch wood, nothing goes wrong. On this side, we've got even more space, which is really messy at the minute, but there's pots and pans in there. This is our fridge. Little fridge, but it works really well. We actually hide away a lot of food in there. So on this side of the van, we've got extra worktop space, which is a little bit of the offcut of our 22mm oak. And below, we've built a little section for our composting toilet. So this is actually a Boxio toilet. It's all wet in a minute. It looks like pisses everywhere.
We just cleaned it.
It basically separates the number 1s and number 2s, and it packs away really easy, and it's super small, and it goes away. As you enter the van here, we have shoe storage, which goes back the full length of this cupboard, and we've got bits and bobs cupboard, which is for bits and bobs, like bike cream, because there's loads of mosquitoes.
Okay guys, so onto the back of the van. Now this is the best bit of the van, I think. Actually, well, the kitchen's cool, but this is like chill out mode.
Yeah.
Comfort.
This is party mode because we can fit
like 8
people in. Alright, who can get 8 people in their van?
in a medium wheelbase.
Medium wheelbase van with a bed, with a full kitchen, and to be able to sit 8 people.
So many people, when we show them photos, they're like, "Oh, is it a long wheelbase?" And I'm like, "No, it's medium." And they're like really shocked that we've got this much stuff in a medium wheelbase. The only thing we probably haven't got that a long wheelbase would have is a proper toilet shower area.
Mold, smells, damp, waste of water. Imagine showering 2 people every day. I mean, you probably wouldn't do it every day, but to have all that, even you won't. There we go. I just said it. You won't shower every single day, so it's a wasted bit of space.
Yeah, we have a shower on the back door, which you'll see in a second, and it works perfectly. Unless you kind of, you know, it depends what type of people you are, because we're quite smelly really, because we don't mind not showering for a few days, and if we do have a shower, we're happy with cold water, in the rain, in the forest, in the jungle, whatever. And on top we have 3 cushions on each side, a little bit of funkiness, decorative feel to the van.
So beneath here is actually the water tank, and it's the diesel heater below and all of the plumbing bits and bobs. So you can see just there in the top, in the corner, there's the controller for the diesel heater, and then just below Lucy's legs, that's the outlet where it will pump out all your warm air. And they're accessed by lockers. You can see the water tank here. This is a 57 litre water tank, which we found out it actually will last us about 6 days.
That's like very strict without a shower.
Yeah.
Maybe 4 days, 5 days.
At the back here, there's a big locker, which you can currently see there's loads of clothes in there. That's Lucy's clothes locker, because it's the biggest one. On the back doors, we've got some hooks, which stores our rucksacks and just our towels, because when you want to quickly run to the beach, you need access to your towel super quick. We've got 2 lights above the top. This is a recessed panel in behind.
Helps when we're sleeping, because our feet can kind of, or our head, depending on which way we decide to sleep.
Just tucks in that little bit more.
It tucks in, and because we are tall people, it means, I mean, I have no issue, like fully, I don't know if you're okay, but I can fully stretch out and I don't have to bend my knees or anything. On this door of the van, we have 2 shelves that we put in, which are really handy just to add some, I mean, it's got some cables, this essential van tip. Fly squatter. That goes in there, and this is also our remote for our Max Air fan, and we have a charging point here, which is right next to the shelves, which is super handy because you can plug your phone in and then your phone sits in there overnight. And on this side of the van, we have our 2 windows, and we have installed 2 blackout blinds, which just literally pull down, and look how dark it is. Pretty pitch black. You can see no light from the outside, and they're super, super quick and easy when you want to just shut the blind down at night or in the daytime when you've parked up and you're going off for the day. Really, really handy, rather than having to stick up blinds or faff around with things. So highly recommend installing blinds.
So this is our main fuse board as such. So behind all of these switches, there's separate fuses to everything that we're running in our van. So for example, we have a fridge here, so we can I can just switch that off if I wanted to, and it will cut off the fridge, and we can leave certain things on, certain things off. So traveling around Europe at the moment, we definitely don't need our diesel heater on because it's so hot. We can just leave that switched off, and I don't have to worry about anything ever turning on or short circuiting, or not that it should, but it's just that peace of mind. Below here, we actually have more clothes storage, but again, even further below, I've built a shelf which pops open, and you've got batteries in there. We're running 2 deep cycle lead acid batteries. They're 110 amps each, I believe, which we found out is plenty of power. We go most days not even going below 95% in power because of our solar system and our batteries. So definitely recommend getting 2 batteries if you're doing batteries. I wanted to get lithium ion batteries, but very expensive. In the middle here, not sure if you can see, but there's actually a cut through here, and then there's the screws along the bottom and the top So this whole panel can just come off with a screwdriver if it needed to for access to our electrics. We can see that we have our inverter. This is our smart DC to DC charger, and this is our solar charger. This one here and this one here are actually Bluetooth, so it will connect to my phone and it will tell me exactly what it's putting into my batteries. Over here I've got my main battery isolator, so I can turn that off and it will turn off my entire system, so I don't have to worry about anything ever going wrong when I'm not in the van. I don't do that day to day. I do that when I'm not using the van months in, months out. I just have it all switched off. Also in this space is a very long section, so it's a good area for me to store things for the table and the table leg. In the last cupboard, we just have more storage for clothes. And so that's pretty much the back side of the van, apart from the dining table, which is a major section for our benches. We wanted to be able to host a lot of people in here, especially when we're back home and we go surfing. We want lots of people to just jump in and have a few drinks with us and to share the experience with a lot of other people. So on the floor, we have our luxury vinyl tiles, which are all clipped and connected together, and that runs through the entire length of the van. And we have a plate mounted in the bottom, which will accept our table leg. Where's the table? Luce, have you seen the table?
I haven't seen the table.
There's a massive table around here somewhere.
Massive? Where could it be?
I don't know.
That's going to take up a lot of space.
That would take up loads of space. I wonder where they hid that.
Yeah, I wonder.
Let me show you. Above here we have our table, which actually runs the entire length of the bed. So, table pulls out, and this is our very clever system on the bottom side of the table for using it inside and to be able to use the table outside. So here we have 4 plates mounted on every corner, and there's a nut welded to the bottom of the plate so I can screw in legs and it can be used for an outdoor table. In the middle we've got a quick release plate so it can hold our main table leg, which we use in the van, to use as our indoor table. Let me show you. This is our table leg, so it clicks in to the floor. And then this is the quick release bracket, which sits on top of the table leg, but it will click onto our table like so, and then the table sits into place on top. And this just, obviously, as you can see, is now one large table for dining. Okay, so we've been blessed with a little dry spell. We're not raining at the minute, so we can show you what it looks like from the outside looking through. On this side we got the shower, quick access. This is the upgraded shower tap that we had, which didn't come with the shower, but it's basically a bum squirter. But it's great because you can control your pressure just by squeezing your thumb on the trigger. There's no like completely on or completely off. Because we're trying to save water, we can just do a little squirt here and there just to like do your hair, do your body, do your arms, clean your feet off when you've gone to the beach. There's loads of possibilities, and it's really powerful. And we've also, in this little area, mounted a little fill-up point, so I can click my hose into there, click it into the other tap and turn the tap on, and it'll fill my water tank up from the back. A lot of people put their fill-up points on the outside of the van and have like a little lifty panel, but we wanted to make our camper van look stealth like a normal van, so we didn't want to have any sort of obvious things on the outside to make it look like a camper van. So that's where we've hidden it, and to be honest, we've had no problems using it there. It's been absolutely fine. So this is the exciting part of the van. This is our bed lift. Above my head is our bed, and on the back of the van here there's 2 rails which hold the bed square as it lifts up and down, and above on the ceiling of the van I've mounted a motor which is like a winch, and it basically pulls a strap which loops around the bed and lifts it from up and down. The controls are over here, and I've got its very own isolator switch down here so I can turn the bed lift on and off, and quite simply you press a button and it'll go down. With the bed going down, obviously cushions are going to be in the way, so they just have to get knocked off onto the floor. But let's drop it down. Our pillows stay on top of the bed when we lift it up and down, so they're completely out of the way. And the duvet stays up here, and you've got your bed. Solid bed. So as you can see, I can just fully stretch out here. My feet are just touching the sides, but for 6'2", this is not bad. And for the actual structure of the bed, we're using an aluminium structural frame, which is bolted together, and then we have plywood surrounding the aluminium to make it look all fancy. It is absolutely tipping it down, so I'm just going to shut the back doors. These are the straps on either side. Up here is our winch, which is rather loud as you heard it go down. I do wish I spent a little bit more time researching winches and maybe found something that's a little bit quieter, but it works well. We've been using it for just over a month now, and this bed's been up and down a lot, and there's been no problems.
For the outside of the van, we do have 2 solar panels on top of the roof. They are 175 watts each, so creating a total of 350. We also put in the 2 windows on the one side of the van with the sliding door. We left this side of the van completely as it was, as it came, because we just wanted to be able to park up against a hedge or a wall or something, and it would look like a normal van. People wouldn't be able to look in at all. We also do have an awning on the side of the van, which is super handy when it's a bit rainy or you want some shade when it's super sunny, and it just means we can put our chairs and table out and kind of create a bit of a outdoor dining area, which is really handy. And that's the end of our Peugeot Boxer van tour. We hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to like and subscribe. And we're currently on our 3-month trip around Europe, so the next few videos are going to be lots of content of our journey, our trip, what we get up to,
how we live in our van, what we do day in, day out, and what it's like to live in a van, because I'm sure you would like to know.
So stay tuned and keep watching.
Make sure you keep watching, like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Ciao!
Ciao!